Good afternoon, and you are listening to Ruma Jordan on I Heard a Rumour on Costa Calida International Radio. Remember that you can listen in on 90 and 100 FM or online at no, that was 4 W's, wasn't it? Or was it 3? Well, it's 3 W's.costacalidaradio.com. Now, my special guest, always welcome in the studio, is Silvana Buxton, who is our councillor for foreigners in the Matharon municipality. Welcome, Silvana.
Thank you very much, Ruma. It's lovely to be here.
Oh, it's lovely to see you. I think the last time I saw you was before Christmas.
I think so, yes.
Oh, my goodness. What has happened so much since Christmas?
A lot of unexpected.
Yeah.
Yes,
now,
yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
And Silvana is going to update us on information regarding phase 2.
Yes.
And what we can and can't do. But we stress here, everyone who's listening, please, we stress that what Silvana is telling us is information that is correct as of now. We know what it's like with the system here in Spain, and things change. It's a dynamic database, shall we say, of ever-changing information. So, Silvana, over to you as to what you're going to tell us.
Thank you very much, Ruma. Hopefully, it's, good news as we go along, as we go through, as the restrictions are lifted, very cautiously, because the safety of everybody is tremendously important. So the government is acting with caution, and it's really, all I can say is it's for our own good, so let's just listen. The problem is that, yes, we do often get last-minute changes simply because of circumstances, because of revision, because of the rules are reviewed, they're discussed every minute of the day, so things change. So I'm just going to give you a rundown of the last version of the information that was given to me.
Yes, because you said that even when you downloaded your information, on your way here, you were given some amendments.
I had 2 more amendments.
Right,
yes,
okay, so that's how quickly it changes.
In the space of 2 hours.
Yeah,
so, so we'll try and keep it updated, obviously. I try and keep our English page of the Town Hall website updated all the time, and you have the email address, website address.
I'll tell you now, and I'll also repeat it throughout the show, that the English written web page for the Ayuntamiento is www.matharon.es/en/.
Yes, that's right. So we try and keep those updated very, very regularly. But I would say if at any time, for any reason, people are in doubt, really the best port of call is the local police Facebook page or the Guardia Civil Facebook page.
And will they reply in English, or will it?
Yes, the people can write in English. I haven't done it, but I dare say that they will reply in English.
I think that's what sometimes people get a bit nervous, because if they don't speak Spanish or they're not fluent, then they get a bit nervous of going to these sites. But if they can guarantee or maybe try it and see, I know that there are various Facebook pages. There's the N322, which is a police. The local site.
I think it's something like that. Yes.
But the Guardia Civil have their Facebook page as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And if you bear in mind that those are the officers that are going to fine you if you don't do things right. The best information, the most up-to-date information up to the minute will probably come from them.
Okay.
But here is what I have received so far. First of all, where can we go now? First of all, phase 2 goes from today up to the 7th of June.
Right, okay.
And where can we go? Before, we could just move freely around our municipality. Now, in fact, we are allowed to move freely within the province, within the Murcia province region. And I think that's what is important to us.
Sure.
Shopping, most of us are desperate for that. So the good news is that shopping malls can reopen, provided the capacity is limited to 30% of the common areas.
Right.
You see the areas where you sort of normally meet your friends and stop and chat.
Yeah, yeah.
And 40% in each of the commercial premises located inside.
So is that inside the actual mall, or is that inside the individual shops?
So in the individual shops.
Right.
So in the individual shops, they will allow 40% of full capacity. And in the common areas, really, you're still not allowed to stay there. Customers, it says, will not be allowed in common areas apart from to move from one store to another.
Okay.
So, don't stop and chat if you meet your mates.
I get you.
Just go through from one shop to the other.
Sure.
Cinemas, theatres, etc. All cinemas, theatres, auditoriums and similar spaces can reopen provided the seats are pre-assigned and capacity is limited to a third.
Oh, okay.
We are still very much in the limited capacity area, so that we can have the minimum distance of 2 meters, which is the recommended one. Concerts. At open-air concerts, the public must be seated, observing social distancing with a capacity at a third and limited to 400 people. However, in the region of Murcia, this number is still going to be limited to 100.
Oh, okay. Is there a particular reason why it's different in Murcia?
I can't give you reasons.
No.
It could be that the region doesn't have as great a population as others.
Okay.
It could be that the region is decided to be more cautious than others.
Sure.
There are various reasons. But as I said, this is what I got this morning.
Absolutely.
Social gatherings. Private gatherings is increased from 10 people to 15 people. The number of people who can meet for activity and natural tourism activities is increased to 20. However, in the region of Murcia, the number remains to 10.
Okay.
So again, more cautiousness. Let's just.
So does that mean that you could go to a restaurant in a group of 10?
I've got bars and restaurants in a little while.
That's separate. Sorry.
This is just a social gathering.
So in a house,
yes.
You can have 10 people in your house.
Yes.
That's excellent.
Now, where age banding applies, and that is in Mazaron and in the Puerto, everyone under the age of 70 can take walks and physical activity during the day with just one timetable restriction. And that is for the restriction that is for people that are over 70. So when people are over 70, they're allowed, that is their free time between 10 and 12 and 7 and 8.
So the restrictions are staying for people over 70.
So you can go for a walk, but please don't come in my age banding, in my time, because between 10 and 12 and between 7 and 8 is people over 70 time for them to go out.
And that's the only time they are allowed. We are allowed all of the times within the restricted.
Apart from this, yes.
So we're not allowed at between 10 and 12?
This is how I read it, Ruma. The problem with this is that there are different interpretations. The way I've written it down, the way it's been reported to me, is that there is age banding, so which means that each age has got a different band, and everybody can actually walk. Everyone, I says, under the age of 70 can take and physical activity during the day. But the timetable restriction is between 10 and 12 and between 7 and 8.
And that's for 70-year-olds?
That is for 70 plus years old.
Because from what I understood from my reading, obviously, is that especially places where there are inhabitants of 5,000 or less, the restrictions are that you can walk, like someone my age could walk from 8 in the morning to 11 in the evening.
Yes, that I understand has been lifted. That has been increased to where inhabitants are 10,000.
Okay, so that's good then.
So it's got a little bit.
Yes.
You see, there's just a little bit more leeway, very cautiously, but a little bit more and more. And I think this age banding for the seniors, age over 70, is really to protect, because they are in the vulnerable group.
Sure.
And just a little bit extra protection there. So for congresses, business meetings, conferences, they're allowed, providing there are no more than 50 attendees with 2 meters distancing observed. Bars and restaurants.
Yay! I'm not desperate for a drink.
Bars and restaurants can reopen their interior dining area, but it's apart from nightclubs and nighttime bars. Right. So they can open the inside, but up to a certain time at night, in the evening.
And that's bars, because restaurants can open in the evening, I'm presuming.
Yeah, but I understand apart from nightclubs and nighttime bars.
Okay.
And what's nighttime?
I think, it's
if in doubt, call the police.
Yes.
Or the Guardia Civil, because this sort of things, it's very good, but it leaves questions unanswered.
Absolutely. And I would presume that many of the bars and restaurants would know what their allowance, what they were allowed to do anyway, so that if it was outside of a certain time, they would just turn people away.
I would imagine so. But again here, provided the capacity is limited to 50%.
Okay.
So they can open the interior, but they still have to abide by the restriction of the number of people they can allow in. Dining inside can only take place sat at a table or a group of tables, and preferably by prior appointment.
Right.
Self-service at a bar is not permitted.
Right.
Okay, so as you go to the bar to get yourself a drink, don't do that.
No.
Okay. Places of worship, capacity will be limited to 50% in all places of worship. Funeral services can take place in public or private installations with a limit of 25 people when in the open and 15 people in closed spaces.
So if they were in a church, it would be 15 people. And if it's at the graveside, they could have 20 people. Is that
25 in the
25,
open
sorry.
and 15 people in closed spaces? That is for funerals.
Right.
If you go to church, 50% of the full capacity is allowed.
Okay.
So I would imagine all the establishments, all halls, churches, I guess they would know what their full capacity is, and
they would know what their half of the capacity.
They have to deal with.
Brilliant. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, play some music and some adverts, and then we'll come back to Silvana and the rest of Phase 2. So let's try some adverts, and then we'll have some summertime with Nina Simone, because it is nearly summertime, isn't it? fantastic Nina Simone and Summertime. Now, my guest today, I haven't had a guest for a long time. I've had to actually take my pajamas off before I came into the studio. I'm only kidding. No, my guest today is Silvana Buxton, who is the councillor for foreigners in the Matharon municipality, and she has been updating us on phase 2 with information that she has been given as of now, or as of 2 hours ago. As we all know, living in Spain, things change very, very quickly. So we have the Town Hall Facebook website in English that you can consult for up-to-date information, and you can also contact the Guardia Civil's Facebook page and ask them a question if in doubt. But the Town Hall webpage is www.matharon.es/en/. Silvana.
Yes. Back here.
Back to you.
Right. So let's carry on with the changes that we are finding in in phase 2, which goes from today to the 7th of June.
Right.
Unless they change it.
Unless they change it.
Of course. So we have hotels and tourist accommodations. They can reopen their common area, provided the capacity is limited to 33%. And social distancing can be assured.
Okay.
Always social distancing and limited capacity. Sports centres, open-air installations such as tennis courts, for example, public swimming pools, they can reopen at 30% capacity with advanced booking.
Okay, is that gyms, did you say?
I guess so, yeah, sports centre. So I guess it's the gym, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, but of course they will know what their 30% capacity is, and you should book.
And also, is it at the discretion of the organisation? So if an organisation didn't want to open but they were allowed to, they can do that as well, can't they?
You know, I believe that to be so. It's only through my experience. I was due to go to a 3-day short break in Murcia next week. It was a birthday present, and but I received a cancellation notice.
Right.
So I believe that, you know, according to whether it's worth their while to keep open or the number of bookings they have at the time or whatever. So by my experience, it could very well be that, in fact, if they feel that, you know, or they don't have the necessary precautionary measures in place, like sanitizers and disinfecting the various areas and so on. There are lots of, precautions that must be taken. And if they feel that they cannot provide those precautions, they could be fined.
Yeah.
Therefore, if they want to act cautiously rather than taking chances.
They'll just probably decide not to open until they feel really confident, which is why everybody should check. Wherever they decide that they're going to, they should check that it is open, that as you did, you know, your hotel said no, so you've got to forfeit that or maybe go at a later date.
That's right, yes. Okay. But in these places, Ruma, it's worth knowing that the showers and the changing rooms must remain closed.
Right, okay. So if you go to a gym or a sports centre or the swimming baths, then the changing rooms are going to be closed. So you have to make sure that you've prepared yourself for what you're going to do when you finish.
You cannot shower.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So beaches. This is I know. People have been waiting for to hear about this, especially as the different municipalities could decide, again according to the precautionary measures in place, etc., whether they were going to open or not. Right. I know that our mayor had a meeting on Saturday to decide whether to allow
Open
the
or
beaches
not.
to
Yeah.
open in
Yeah,
Mazaron or not. So our good news is that the beaches will reopen with rules and measures to be taken into account with regards to their use. So there must be a 2-meter distance between people who are not from the same family unit. Umbrellas must be at least 6 meters from the shoreline. It is recommended a maximum of 4 hours to be on the beach. Really, that is also so that everybody gets a chance to
And
to stay on the beach for a while.
distancing is very
Distancing
important.
2 meters between people. Avoid crowding. There will be information posters. Surveillance and information will be intensified so that umbrellas are not misused on the beach.
Right.
Shared sun lounges will have to be cleaned and disinfected between use.
Right. And that's down to, obviously, the beach bar
That's
who
right.
provide the sun
yes.
lounges. But you can take your own, I presume.
I guess so, yes. Open air showers and foot washes will be permitted for use, as will bathroom, changing rooms and other similar public services, but only one person at a time will be able to use such facility unless that person requires assistance. So obviously for handicapped people, they will need to be accompanied. Yes.
And what about toilets that are on the beach? Is there anything about those? Because
as will bathrooms.
Oh, I hope so.
So there
Because
will
I
be.
can tell you, I go walking quite often, and I end up waddling home like a duck because I'm desperate to go for a wee.
Yes. So you can pop in now.
So I need to be able to go to the loo.
Yes, it says will be permitted for use bathrooms, changing rooms, and other
Excellent.
similar
Good.
public services.
Yeah. And that's as from today.
Yes.
Yeah, excellent.
Face masks. This is the last recommendation. Persons 6 years of age and older are required to wear face masks, preferably the hygienic and surgical type, the ones that cover nose and mouth.
Yeah.
If 2 meters distancing is not possible, the use of a mask is compulsory.
Okay.
And it's compulsory on public roads, in open air spaces, and in any closed space for public use or open to the public.
Right.
And that's all the information I have so far.
That's fantastic, Silvana. Thank you so much. I just want to remind everyone that also Silvana has said that the town hall is open for appointments only, and it's open between the hours of 9 and 2 p.m. Now, if you want to make an appointment, you have to phone them to make the appointment. So what we're saying here is that if you're not confident in your Spanish, to speak Spanish or understand the answer, then please get an interpreter to do this. The phone number is 968 590 012. You must wear a mask when you're going into your appointment, and you must wait outside until you're called in. And again, if you don't understand Spanish well enough, then you must take an interpreter, because I'm sure we've all had experiences where we've kind of forgotten our words or maybe not understand everything and might have understood something incorrectly.
Yes.
So it's really important. Also, I want to reiterate that the town hall has a website that is in English and it is updated regularly. And the address for that is www.mazarron, mazarron.es/en/. Silvana hastens to add that all the information is correct up to 2 hours ago. Now, we all have lived in Spain for a period of time. We know things change quite quickly. So if you are in any doubts about anything, if you can contact the Guardia Civil, they have a Facebook page and they're very good at answering people. So Silvana, is there anything else you would like to add?
Just to everybody, I am available to help in whichever way I can. But please be patient, be safe.
Yes, and thank you so much for your time. As
you.
always, Silvana holds an open door policy for emails.
Yes.
So if you would like to email her any questions, it's silvanaeb@matheron.es. So thank you so much, Silvana. I shall play some music whilst I say goodbye to Silvana. We have Curiosity Killed the Cat, Name and Number.
Hello? Hello? Hey, how you doing? I'm sorry you couldn't get through. Costa says I messed